Greetings, everybody. It's me, your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete, and this is my series, Nails in a Coffin, where we learn that with great kills, there must also come great nails. Well, we're still at Camp Crystal Lake for the summer, and today we're covering Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. Here's a summary of the average Nails in a Coffin for the first 6 movies in the franchise. We last saw Jason anchor to the bottom of Crystal Lake, compliments of Tommy Jarvis. And this is the movie where we get Jason versus Discount Carrie. Damn it. See, that's okay. Tina has been teaching me some stuff. Okay, great. See, I've been practicing, and hopefully I'm going to move my way up to a machete. This movie is the debut of Kane Hodder as Jason. He does look great in this film, and Kane is many people's favorite Jason, and I do love him, but my favorite Jason is actually C.J. Graham from Part 6. So before anything else happens, let's get down to business. Let's go grab a beer, and let's put some Nails in a Coffin for Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. The movie opens up with Tina, who is listening to her parents fight while they're staying at a cabin on Crystal Lake. She gets upset and runs down to the dock and gets in a small boat. Her father, John Shepard, chases her, and he's standing on the dock telling her everything is going to be okay. Well, she's really upset at him since he hit her mom, and she tells him that she wishes he was dead. She then has a stern expression on her face as the dock starts to shake back and forth while the father is standing on it. The dock collapses, and he falls into the lake and dies. For our first death in the movie, I'm going to give Tina's dad one nail in the coffin. Once the dock started to shake, he never tried to get off of it. He had to at least try to move and get to safety. He did have some time, but he just stood there and did nothing. He didn't try anything. So, for our first kill in the movie, John is going to get one nail in the coffin. Years later, a teenage Tina is still struggling with remorse surrounding her father's death. After a particularly upsetting session with psychiatrist Dr. Cruz, Tina runs from the cabin and to the dock thinking about her father's death. While thinking about him, she wishes he would come back to life, and then her powers unwittingly bring Jason back to life. Jane is Jason's first victim in this movie. She and her boyfriend Michael are on their way up to the cabin for the party. While Michael is off peeing in the woods, Jason walks up behind Jane, grabs her, and then stabs her through the back of the head with a tent spike. Jane, I'm going to give her 2 nails in a coffin. She was standing around waiting for Michael, and before she even knew what hit her, Jason just grabbed her and killed her. She really wasn't given much of a chance. So, Jason's first victim earns 2 nails in the coffin. Michael returns from his bathroom break and sees Jane leaning dead against a tree with Jason standing next to her. He takes off running with Jason in pursuit. While he's running away, Jason throws the tent spike into Michael's back and he falls down to the ground. Jason catches up to him, picks him up with the tent spike, ending Michael's life. I'm going to give Michael 1 nail in the coffin. He could have run faster. He was just kind of doing maybe a quick jog. He wasn't sprinting trying to get away. And Jason was able to throw a tent spike and knock him down, and Jason was just walking. So I didn't even see Michael really running that fast, and he kept looking behind him instead of just going. And if Michael made a dead sprint, maybe he could have gotten away. He had a few moments too, but in this case, I'm going to give Michael 1 nail in the coffin. Dan is camping in the woods with his girlfriend Judy. He was carrying wood back for the campfire, and while he's walking back, Jason comes up from behind, punches through his back, and breaks his neck. And this is where Jason actually gets his machete for the film, since Dan was using it to gather wood. Dan, he earned himself 2 nails in a coffin. He really didn't do anything wrong. He was carrying wood back to the tent. And from out of nowhere, Jason walked up behind him, punched through his back, and broke his neck. Another kill where the victim didn't even know what hit him. So, like I normally do, I'm going to give Dan 2 nails in the coffin. Judy was waiting in a tent for Dan. She hears somebody outside the tent, and she thinks it's Dan. But Jason actually slashes into the tent. Judy screams and hides inside her sleeping bag. And in one of Kane Hodder's favorite kills in the franchise, Jason takes the sleeping bag, drags it to a tree, and smashes it against the tree, killing Judy. I'm going to give Judy 2 nails in a coffin. She did try and hide in the sleeping bag, which is kind of silly. And I guess that's like when you're a kid and you think there's monsters in your room, you put the covers over your head. But she really didn't have much time to get up and run away or really do anything since Jason was right there. So she was going to be dead no matter what. So I'm going to stick with my guns and give Judy 2 nails in the coffin. We have Russell next. He was getting ready to go for a skinny dip with his girlfriend Sandra. While he's getting undressed and sitting on the ground, Jason walks from behind a tree, scares Russell, and then swings an axe into Russell's face, ending his life. Russell, I'm going to give you 1 nail in the coffin. You saw this giant monster of man walking towards you, and you didn't even try and get up or run. You just kind of crawled backwards a bit. You didn't yell or do anything. You just kind of stood there, slinking back a little bit. So I think you're going to deserve that 1 nail in the coffin. Sandra, who was already in the lake, sees what happens to Russell, and she starts screaming. As she's screaming, Jason appears in the lake, grabs her by the foot, and drags her down to the bottom, drowning her. For this kill, I'm going to give 2 nails in a coffin for Sandra. As soon as she saw Russell, she screamed, but the Jason just appeared as if out of nowhere, grabbed her leg, and pulled her down to the bottom. Not really much of a chance to do anything since she was overpowered and surprised by Jason, which is a typical MO for Jason. So Sandra, 2 nails in a coffin. Maddie is next to die. She was walking in the woods, and Jason drops Russell's body right in front of her. Maddie screams and runs, then she runs into a tool shed and tries to hide from Jason. She's standing next to a wall waiting for Jason to leave, but he doesn't. Jason breaks through the wall, grabs her, and slashes her throat with a sickle. I'm going to give Maddie 1 nail in the coffin. She ran into a tool shed where she cornered herself. She was close to the cabin with all of her other friends, yet she cornered herself, and while she was hiding, she really only hid for a few moments before trying to get away again while Jason was still in the tool shed. These dumb decisions are going to get you 1 nail in the coffin. After Maddie, Ben is next up. He was having fun with Katie in a van, and they hear something outside the van, and Ben goes to investigate. As he's calling to see who it is, looking around to see where the noise came from, Jason walks up behind him, grabs his head, and viciously crushes it like a melon. Ben pretty much had no chance of survival here. He gets 2 nails in the coffin. He was surprised from behind, grabbed, and had his head crushed. He tried to fight it off, but Jason is a super strong monster. And like most kills by Jason, it was a surprise from behind, giving the victim no chance of survival. Ben's girlfriend Katie was still in the van, and she was looking out the window calling for Ben. While she's looking towards the back of the van calling for Ben, Jason grabs her head and then smashes a party horn into her eye, killing her. Like Ben, I'm going to give Katie 2 nails in a coffin. Same reasons why I gave Ben 2 nails. It was a surprise kill from behind with no chance to get away or even defend oneself. There are a lot of couples in this movie. So David was fooling around with Robin. He goes downstairs to the fridge for a snack. And there is a really cool shot where you see Jason hiding in the shadows. And when the lightning from a storm illuminates the room, you see Jason hiding in the corner. Well, while David is getting a snack from the fridge, he gets up, turns around. Right as Jason is standing there, Jason takes a knife and plunges it into David's stomach. 2 nails in a coffin for David. As soon as he turned around, Jason was there with a knife stabbing him. And he was pretty much a goner before he even had a chance to know what was really happening to him. So another typical kill for Jason where the victim gets 2 nails in the coffin. Eddie is next to die. He's sitting on the couch just hanging out. He hears something behind him. He thinks it's one of his buddies. He turns around to look up just in time for Jason to bring down a machete into Eddie's neck. I think you can guess where I'm going to go with this one. I'm awarding Eddie 2 nails in a coffin. Another kill where the victim has no time to even react. As soon as he looked up and saw Jason, the machete was brought down into his neck. Not much of a chance of survival here. The lovely Robin is next, and she's played by the stunning Elizabeth Caton. She's looking around the cabin for David. She eventually finds his decapitated head. She screams just as Jason walks into the room, and she's looking for somewhere to run and get away. But Jason corners her. He grabs her by the throat and then throws her out the window. I'm going to award Robin here 2 nails in a coffin. You know, she saw Jason and tried to get away, but she was just cornered. And you can see her looking around the room for somewhere to run. But Jason was able to grab her and kill her by throwing her out the window, not really giving her much of a chance of survival in this one. We're getting close to the end right now with Tina's mom, Amanda. Jason is slowly stalking Amanda and Dr. Cruz in the woods. Dr. Cruz stops running for reasons, but he also grabs Amanda and makes her stop running. Jason catches up to them, and the asshole Dr. Cruz pretty much uses Amanda as a shield, so Jason stabs her through the back with a tree trimmer. Sorry guys, but Amanda, I'm going to have to give her 2 nails in a coffin. It's not her fault that Dr. Cruz grabbed her and held her till Jason was able to catch up to them. And I really didn't see anything that she did wrong. She was trying to get away, but through the fault of Dr. Cruz, she wasn't able to. So 2 nails in a coffin for Amanda. The asshole Dr. Cruz thankfully dies next. He's still running from Jason. He stops, and I guess he's trying to catch his breath. But Jason catches up to him, as Jason does. And he punches Dr. Cruz in the chest. Dr. Cruz goes flying backwards. Jason then takes a large weed whacker and guts Dr. Cruz. 1 nail in the coffin for Bernie. He wasn't running that long that he needed to stop and catch his breath. If an unkillable monster is chasing you, you should probably try running till your lungs explode and you pass out. You know, go in a straight line and GTFO. But Dr. Cruz was stupid and stopped. He wasn't even running that long, so Bernie just earned himself 1 nail in the coffin. Our final kill in the New Blood is bitch Melissa. They're in Tina's cabin, and Tina and Nick are trying to tell Melissa to stay put. She doesn't want to listen to anybody, and she opens the door to see Jason. Jason takes an axe, plunges it into Melissa's head, and then throws her across the room like a rag doll. The final nails go to Melissa, and we're going to give her 1 nail in the coffin. She should have stayed in the house with the others. When she opened the door and saw Jason, she just kind of stood there looking at him, didn't close the door, didn't try and run. She just kind of stared at him, and she pretty much watched him raise the axe over her head and slam it down into her head. Those types of kills will always going to get you 1 nail in the coffin. Tina and Jason have an awesome fight at the end of this movie. Tina pretty much kicks Jason's ass. She knocks him through the stairs, crushes his head, breaks his mask. She hangs him, drops him down into the basement. She impales him with a bunch of nails. She sets him on fire, and then the cabin blows up with Jason inside. Then this movie ruins this final conflict. When Tina is on the dock and Jason is about to kill her, her resurrected father comes back from the lake and drags Jason down back to the bottom, wrapping a chain around his neck, anchoring him to the bottom of the lake again. Really poor ending to this movie. Well, ladies and gentlemen, those are all my nails in a coffin for Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. Here's a look at the summary of all the nails I've awarded. Here's a summary of the average nails in a coffin for the first 7 movies in the franchise. Be sure to come back here next week for Nails in a Coffin on Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, or as most people like to call it, Jason on a Boat. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys helping me grow this channel. Share it around, let others know about it. I appreciate you watching this video. So it looks like Jason is safely at the bottom of the lake again. Damn it. Here we go again. I'm going to try and bring that machete to myself. That's not what I meant. I'm going to have to get out of here. I'm your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. And remember, with great kills, there must also come great nails. That's not the machete I wanted.